shockingly enough, this might be the best live-action Disney movie based on the original classics. How's it? Welcome back to Tamba Takes Reviews. My name is Sean Tamba. This is where I give you my take. Feel free to hit that like and subscribe button if you want to get notified for future reviews. If you want to talk movies, comment down below. Cruella, starring Emma Stone and Emma Thompson. If you know movies, if you've been watching the live action remakes of these Disney classics and you haven't been disappointed, please tell me why, first of all. So when this came along, obviously it's a little different. It's not a remake. This is an origin story of a villain. And honestly, I did like Aladdin. I enjoyed Aladdin. That's because Aladdin's my favorite. But this one was a big shocker for me. Emma Stone and Emma Thompson, they both kill it. They knock it out of the park. Both performances were great. The physical comedy in this movie had me laughing out loud more times than I could count. And I had no idea it was gonna be like that. I like the introduction of Horace and Jasper from the original classics. Horace in particular was my favorite part of the whole movie. His physical comedy, his reaction, his delivery of his lines, they were fantastic. So major props to Paul Walter Hauser for that role. They did try, I feel like with the music that they had, they really tried to set the mood of the time era that they were in. So if you like that kind of music, I know a lot of people did like the score. It did fit well with the film. I feel like they just tried a little too hard to get us into that mood. And I don't think they really needed it because of the performances from Emma Stone and Emma Thompson. Every time they're on screen, it was very well done. There is a couple dark scenes, especially for a Disney film. I would say the first 5 to 10 minutes, something does happen where you're like, wow, Disney went there. It's not ridiculous. It's not a Saw movie or anything like that, but it is pretty dark. I mean, it is PG-13, so I guess I can't really say too much about that. On the negative side, it's a tad too long. It's about 2.5 hours. I think they could have shortened it, tightened up some things here and there. I'd say the end of the second act is kind of almost like too perfect of an ending for a second act, so then they have to add another half hour to kind of finish up this story that they've created. So that was the 15 minutes or so that I found myself the most bored. But again, the overall film I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot, more than I thought I would. But then we have a post-credit scene. So if you don't want to know what that is, feel free to skip. But in the end, Cruella is the one who gives Anita and Roger Pongo and Perdita from the original, which I'm not sure makes total sense because obviously in the classic, she wants the puppies to make fur coats and whatnot, which by the way is pretty bad, pretty terrible villain. Well done, Disney. But now that I'm thinking about it, it actually kind of works, but a lot of things would have had to happen correctly for Roger and Anita to meet, to have their dogs make the 101 Dalmatians and whatnot. But that's just a minor detail. It's at the very end of the film. They're clearly gonna have a Cruella 2. And if they can match the first one, I'm on board. So, should you watch this movie? You know that way. Feel free to follow me on Letterboxd and Instagram. I'll catch you next time. Shoots.